All right, what's up, Survivor Nation, and welcome to the Dome Patrol United Survivor podcast. We are, what are we, week 12 on Survivor. So, once again, as always, if you have not watched the April 29th episode, you will be spoiled. Hey, I hear myself in an echo. All right. Okay, let's get right into it. Welcome to Joe. Jason, what's your name and what's your number? Obviously. All right. All right, Scott, what's your number today? Oh, special special occasion. Thirsty Thursday. You missed the Zephyrs. That's right. All right. Let's start with Survivor. Let's go out of order of the show. Let's talk about Extinction Island first with the a new wear them out challenge. I mean, he was a real loser in this one. It's walking.
Well, I mean, look, Boston Rob, you hurt his elbow. It's not just walking flat on the beach and back.
And then you got to be the first six to finish, and you got to finish by sundown. So if I didn't have a chance, if I was Adam and I didn't have a shot, like I would seriously just sit my ass down and just not do anything. He's like trying to crawl across these rocks, and he watches Wendell like jump from one thing to the next. He's like, "How the hell did he do that?" Like, you know,
I know.
it's just
All right.
like,
So then Rob falls and his elbow busts, and that cripples him? I mean, it's your elbow. This isn't an elbow challenge, Rob. I think Rob was using that as an excuse to why the old fat Rob can't compete.
No, look, Rob's all about getting as many fire tokens as possible. He's not quitting unless it's
I'm not saying
serious.
he didn't quit. He just couldn't compete.
well, then he kept on going after the contest was over,
Yeah, but he
and I
looked bad.
there
He
like
looked,
it was it. I mean, he's okay. He's walking with the coconut. He's got the blood dripping down his elbow, dripping off his fingers. He's wearing the Boston hat. I'm like, is this fucking Kurt Schilling with the bloody sock? Like that's exactly what it reminded me of.
that's the edit they would needed to give him. He is the king of Survivor until Tony wins. And so yeah, if he's gonna lose a challenge, we're gonna play up the injury. Oh, his elbow is bleeding. It's an elbow. You scraped your elbow. Boo hoo hoo.
It's clearly more than a scrape. Come on.
But it doesn't
He didn't
hurt your
wipe it.
ability
He
to
didn't do
walk.
anything. It was
It,
like he was definitely playing it
that
up.
was
Well, it does.
makeup.
It doesn't hurt your ability to walk when you're at home and you can just go sit on your couch and get pop some Advil or nothing and stuff. But it's a little different out there.
Old
Hey,
Boston Rob, young Boston Rob would have played through that and not had a problem with it. New Boston Rob or fat Boston Rob, I'm sorry, he's out of shape, and this is a challenge where you got to be in shape. Even the people in shape could barely make it, and I think he used it as an excuse. He
well,
knew
it
he
was
was going
funny
to lose, so
at the
oh, it's
beginning.
because of
He's
my
like,
elbow. That's why I lost. I would have
well,
won if
he
not for
was
this.
he
Oh,
was
my arm,
running.
my arm.
I mean, he was running and he was in first. He's like, yeah, I'm the one that's setting the pace. He's like, I'm gonna slow down because I don't want to set the
Right.
pace. I'm
Oh,
like,
another
okay,
excuse.
dude.
I chose to lose this
I don't
challenge.
want to look too strong. Like, what?
Rob's that guy. I would have beat all of yous if I didn't decide to lose. And then this injury, I can't even walk with this.
Right, right.
This is my coconut carrying elbow.
I'm just doing it for Amber.
Yeah. So, all right. So they got it's just a way for them to earn a few fire tokens so that they can buy advantages in the challenge, which also might mean the challenge is next week.
Well,
There
that
was
in
the
addition,
first challenge the day before, or the week before the Get Back In challenge.
right. Well,
Remember that?
plus, I mean, it's also a 2-hour episode next week.
Is it?
Finally, Jason, you get your 2 hour
Right?
episode.
Right? Finally. I mean, it took all this to finally get him to do a 2 hour
What you
episode.
don't know is he's been sliding into Probe's DMs.
Right?
Oh, speaking of the tribal council, we're gonna get to that. All right, so
Yeah.
get back to camp, and we got the fallout from last week. And was Tony and Sarah's argument overheard by people, or did it was just editing and you heard it while they were showing the footage of other people? Because if so, then they just exposed themselves as working together.
I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
think
know. That's,
everybody knows they're working.
yeah, it's probably
together.
not a secret that they're kind of working together. And that's what, when we were watching it last night, Renee's like, it seems like everybody can hear them. And, when it's just a quiet beach with not a lot of outside sounds other than the waves crashing or whatever. I mean, if you're yelling like that,
Mm-hmm.
more than likely everybody did hear it.
Yeah. And it was kind of weird. Like they showed Tony going up in his little nest thing, but they didn't show him hearing anything or hearing anybody talking. Like I don't know if they were setting that up for future episodes or what. But like Sarah came, he's like, Tony, it's me. It's like he was testing it out. He's like, can you see me? She's like, no, I can't see you. And then they didn't show him up there again. Like that was the only time he was up there.
Maybe if we'd had a 2 hour episode, we might have seen some footage.
Maybe so. I'm to the point right now where Tony's kind of starting to annoy me a bit.
Oh, come on.
Like he's just a little bit too much for me. Like
What
I
do you
don't,
mean?
I don't,
What are you
I
talking
don't
about?
like.
I need you to do this for me. Come on, Dan. I need it, Scott.
I mean,
Come
he's
on, Scott. Show me that idol. I know it's Scott.
I mean, he's.
I
don't know.
either Tony has to win. He's getting a winner's edit, okay, or he's getting a, when the horse gets overtaken at the last second edit. All signs point to Tony winning this game, and then you get Rob at the end saying he's a boss. I mean, it sounds like he can win this game, but the only way he wins at this point is to keep getting immunity. He has got the biggest target on his back.
Yeah. And I was kind of disappointed that Nick kind of just like, I mean, I guess he was falling. I don't know, at the immunity challenge, and he's like, "Will you give me that token?" And he stepped off. I don't know. I felt like I was hoping Nick would hold on that Tony wouldn't get the immunity again.
I mean, at least he did get a token, but man, it's really surprising to see these experienced players all exit a challenge like that. I mean,
Kim.
look, I get, maybe you don't think you can last, but still, like, this is a game of winners.
Yeah.
You've clearly persevered through an entire 39-day game and won before. With a little bit of peanut butter should not have that much of an effect. Now, granted, I'm not out here on an island for 30 days, but still, it was incredibly shocking to see such experienced players still do that.
Yep. I mean, it definitely didn't work in Kim's advantage. Because if she had, she
But
was said,
when you feel so
kick
comfortable,
myself.
yeah, you feel so comfortable. You're right. Everybody who plays Survivor will tell you the moment you're comfortable is the moment you should be the most worried.
Yep.
And that's why Tony is so good, because Tony is in an eternal
Paranoid.
state of play. Yeah. I don't know. Besides Tony, though, who's playing the next best game? Is it? I mean, it's not Jeremy's sitting there waiting to be saved by every week.
Now, for a while, Jeremy was controlling the game, but recently, he knows he's the target, and yet he's found a way to.
He's in survival mode.
Oh, I see.
What I did there?
Right. So I mean, really, yeah. I mean, who could you say has put together a good game so far? I mean, Sarah, because she kind of had her alliance with Sophie for a while, and they kind of controlled that side. She's still kind of with Tony, but
has Sarah's name been written down yet?
Did she get any votes last week? No, she wouldn't have gotten last week. I don't know.
I mean, because Denise did one thing. That's all she's done this whole game. Nick hasn't really done anything this game except kind of be on the right side of the votes. Jeremy has a little resume. I don't know why they keep thinking he's such a big target because he's not like other than he's got friends on the jury because he hasn't backstabbed anybody because everybody keeps trying to backstab him.
Mhm.
I mean,
I'm very surprised he didn't play that 50-50.
I really
right?
thought for sure he was going to play it.
I thought it was, and I guess I mean it turned out to be a good decision, but man,
How do you?
I would have
Yeah.
been.
All right, so
I
all
mean,
right,
he
get
trusted
into.
Tony. He trusted Tony, and Tony's like, "Don't do it. You know, you're good."
But how did they know? Like, how did they know? Because how do you know? All right, so that means Tony convinced Sarah to flip with him to go with him, right? Sarah voted for Kim, Tony,
Ben,
Jeremy, Ben, and who was the fifth? I don't remember.
Nick, Nick,
Yes, Nick. It was Nick. So when Tony was like, "We good," I got it. I took it originally as, "Do you feel safe?" kind of thing versus, "Did you do what you said? Did you vote for Kim?" Right? And his whole point was if Sarah voted for Kim and if Jeremy voted for Kim, nobody needs to play their powers because Kim's out. But I thought Ben was the biggest loose cannon. If I'm Tony, I'm like, I know those two voted for Kim. I don't know if Ben did,
Mhm.
yeah.
and he
I
didn't
think
check with Ben.
I think Ben's gonna go. Like, if Tony's gonna win, I think he's got to get rid of Ben. He's too much of a wild card. Like, you just don't know. And see, Ben's getting more and more like he was pissed when Sophie got voted off. Now he's gonna be pissed that it was Kim instead of Jeremy. Like, how many times is he gonna just take them kind of changing the vote at the last minute
right. I mean,
kind
plus
of thing?
he's willing to spill the beans on the plans to everybody. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, uh,
So I just don't know
yeah.
how much longer he's gonna.
I mean, that's the thing. When you get to this point in the game, if there's somebody that I mean, it worked this week. He got him to flip, but at some point, like if you can't trust him, I mean, you can't afford to keep him around because he just creates a bunch of chaos. And at this point, Tony has to realize, he's luckily he does have an idol in his pocket, which could save him from at least one tribal. But
And Ben
you
does
know,
too.
Yeah, he's got
yeah,
one free loss is what he's got, essentially.
right. Because he has to realize, like, people know he's played the best game so far, and if he goes to the end, they can't beat him. He
So
didn't have he didn't have Wu around this time to save him.
so who got that?
Woo!
So does he have Jeremy's loyalty now because of what he's done?
I would think he has to.
I don't
At
think
least
there is
for
loyalty.
he's got it to a point. Jeremy's also going to realize, well, I can't beat Tony.
That's 2 weeks in a row Tony saves Jeremy, right? I
Yeah.
mean, come on, how much more do I have to prove anything to you? So
Yeah.
you could have Sarah, Tony, and Jeremy as a trio. Then you got Denise
Michelle
and
and
Michelle are a duo.
Nick's kind of in
Nick,
between. Like, Nick goes week to week.
Nick, yeah, he changes his mind like he changes his underwear twice.
Never.
And then and then yeah, Ben is just unpredictable. Ben's gonna go. Ben's gonna play. Ben's gonna survive. You know that's whole Ben's mo is I don't want to be loyal to anybody. I want to be able to. He's a floater. That's what Ben is, a floater.
And I guess the one thing you could say, it'll be interesting if, once Tony gets to the point and he does get voted out, a lot of these players, they haven't made a ton of big moves yet, so they're technically all kind of, pretty much any of them could win. So that is the one wrinkle that can get thrown in there if Tony gets eliminated. Plus, you also have whoever the returning player is going to be, which I'm assuming is going to be next week.
It's almost like, do you want to, if you know you're going to get kicked off, do you want to get kicked off before the challenge for the Extinction Island people? So you can try to get back in? Because, I mean,
at
once
least you
that
have a choice.
happens,
Yeah, you're done.
you're
Right.
done.
Yeah.
Man. So can we talk about the whole tribal council thing and the getting up and whispering? I'm becoming not a fan of that anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of like that was what you were supposed to use your time on the island for. And when you
right.
get here, you have to talk to. I think it's disrespectful to Jeff, but the Jeff allows it, so and he's like, okay,
I
we'll
think
let
he
it
likes
happen.
it. Like, he
He
kind of
does,
like,
but I have a feeling the fans in the forums and Reddit and everywhere are gonna let their opinions be known, and they might they might have to come up with some kind of a rule. I think you can allow it to a certain extent, but it can't. But don't bring it into the editing room. Like, don't let that come through.
But I mean, you kind of have to if that's all that goes on.
the
Oh, everybody
game.
whispers, okay, we're ready to go. Like
Yeah.
there's,
You could say no talking to each other once
Yeah.
I
tribal.
mean,
No,
But again,
or all you can only
survival
answer questions from Jeff from Probst.
from me.
Once you get the
No,
tribal count. Yeah.
Survivor though is like part of what makes Survivor great is that there are no rules really. Like you know what I mean? The rules are very few and far between. And
until there are.
right, and until there are, but I don't know. I like at least this week we got to hear what they were saying and they gave us the subtitles. The last 2 weeks that it happened, we couldn't hear anything. We're just watching people whisper to each other. So at least this time we're seeing the game play out and we're seeing what people are saying to each other, which is kind of interesting because a lot of it was kind of dumb. Like, we still good? Are we still good? Are we still good? Are we still good? What you doing? We still good? What you doing? Is it me? Is it you?
I mean,
Who?
you
Me?
know, I guess because it's a season of winners. I mean, the paranoia apparently is there. I mean, you heard him talking about it. The difference between still being in the game as opposed to being on Extinction Island, where you can kind of let your brain relax a little bit on Extinction Island, and they're still going at it full on. So it's just I don't know. To me, like a lot of the gameplay of Survivor is talking with people before having to go to tribal, trying to get things down. I mean, you think you know what's going to happen, but it seems like things. I don't know if anything did actually change last night, but it just seems like it's a lot easier for stuff to change at the last minute and undo all the previous work. To be a good Survivor player, you need to go out and do this stuff, not just this random 5-10 minute whispering at tribal can just
But
change
at
anything.
this, but that's I think that's part of that. It's almost like the game's evolving into that. If the show doesn't put a stop to it, then this is the future of Survivor because the whole point in a blind side is to not give the other side a chance to find out. Well, wait as late as you can. Last week, Tony waited till they left, right, to talk to Jeremy. And they have the whole day, but the last possible second is when I'm going to make my move.
But it was
So
also done prior to getting to tribal.
right, and that part's fine. And then like so now and now because Jeff's allowed talking at tribal, whispering at tribal,
Mm-hmm.
now they're like, okay, I'm not even gonna do it then. I'm gonna wait till I feel like Jeff's about to call for a vote, and then I'm gonna oh yeah.
Yeah. I really think they might. It might won't be this season, obviously, because they are allowing it, but maybe in future seasons they won't let them. I don't know. Talk at tribal. Like you can answer Jeff's questions and that's it. Like you can't speak to
Right.
each other.
No going off
Or
to the side and whispering to
or
someone.
if
Whispering.
all right, so here's the compromise. You can't whisper. You can say what you want to say, but you have to say it out loud in front of everybody.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Tony, we good? Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Right. I mean that's the whole point. Like they have to be allowed to play the game their way. And if that means you want to talk to somebody directly at tribal council, you can. You always have been able to, and you should be able to.
Because otherwise you're gonna start seeing some like sign language, You, me, you,
You, me, you, me. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. All right. What else we got? Anything else major happen? I mean, the challenge was the water challenge. Not be. Could you imagine doing that and not being able to like support yourself with your other arm?
Yeah, that's rough.
I
Like I
would
was
not.
thinking, they could support themselves, and then he kind of clarified that they can't even do that.
Yeah,
Oof.
I'd
Like
be.
this
I'd,
will
I'd
not
be
last long.
5 minutes tops for me.
Shit, I wouldn't have been able to. They'd be like, and the challenge goes, Jeff, God dog it, we haven't even started.
Where's the peanut butter? I was told there'd be peanut butter. We do have a question in the chat.
We do. It's a good question,
Oh,
actually.
let's see. What do we got? Let's see. Read it. What?
What saints, past or present, would you like to see on Survivor?
Oh, look at David Luro putting a little
Well,
mishmash.
crossbreeding there.
That's right. It's a hybrid question. What saint, all right, past or present, would you like to see on Survivor?
I'm gonna give a past and a present.
Well, I know who your present's gonna be.
Murray?
Who do you think my That's a good one. That's a good one. So I know who you think my present's gonna be, but it's not who you think it's gonna be.
Okay.
Taysom
Who
Hill.
do you
That's who I think your present's going to be.
Right.
Nope. I'd say Cam Jordan.
Okay. I can see Cam
You'd
Jordan.
be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Okay.
Past Joe Horn.
Oh, now that's a good one. Joe Horn would be good from the past. So my past, I might say I'm gonna go with Bobby Abear.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
I don't think he could survive with no alcohol.
Well, you have to make it to the merge then.
Right, he's got to make it. He's just got to win a few rewards. That's
Right.
all.
Bobby would be good, I think, and then present. I think Taysom Hill would be a good one. He'd be a physical threat. He'd win all the. He would be one of those challenge beasts. He'd rival Ozzy.
Yeah, but can he win? Can he solve a puzzle?
He can do it all. Yes.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
I mean, I think as much as I think Camaro would be an absolute challenge beast, but I think Breeze mostly because of the way the guy prepares. Like he would be so into the game. Now maybe that might hurt him because he's
He'd be
in
Tony.
it, right?
I think it'd be a cross between Tony and Boston Rob.
Like
That determination, never to quit.
But not the bully type. Both of them are a
No.
little aggressive. He'd be more the collaborative.
Right. He would definitely be a team builder on his first half of the season in his tribe. He's good enough athletically, and just the way he'd always be thinking about the game. His craziness aspect in terms.
He'd be
of
like, "Can I watch film on Last Tribal Council?"
Right. That is a good lineup. You got Drew Brees for a certain style of play. You got Cam Jordan for entertainment value. You got Taysom Hill for a challenge beast. Then you got Bobby Hebert, who's your just again entertainment value.
Your character, right?
And the accent, everything about Bobby. Joe Horn, who would also he'd be in your face. He would be like a Tony, a wild player. And
Bring a
Jason,
phone,
who
a
was
cell
your guy?
phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who my past player would be. Clearly not an offensive lineman. They wouldn't be able to.
Would it be
make
Ricky Jackson?
I was thinking
You'd have to have subtitles.
Right.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, Vaughn Johnson's too big. Was there like a wide now?
All right. Well,
Sam Mills. How about Sam Mills?
Kind
of
the body of Sam Mills or like actual Sam Mills?
Oh,
I don't think he didn't say pass. He didn't say alive or.
He didn't say he
dead.
still had to be alive. I mean,
all right, Sam Mills. All right, Sam Mills.
All right. Interesting pick. Okay.
So anyway, that was a nice question, but I love the fact that next week we're getting. No, the sad part is there's only 2 more, I guess, nights of Survivor. Next week is 2 hours, and then the finale is 3 hours the following week. So the season's almost over, man.
Shit.
It's gonna be kind of sad.
Kind of flew by.
It did. Survivor is one of the only things that carried us all through quarantine.
Yeah.
All right.
Do they typically do a live finale?
Yeah.
They typically do, but I would imagine now it's just going to be like a giant Zoom chat with everybody.
It'll be like this.
Yeah. Because I watch Ink Masters, and they get to the final 3 people, and then they have a live finale. Well, obviously they weren't able to do it, so they ended up giving all 3 of them money.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then had a Zoom episode where they displayed their final.
Kind of like Joel McHale interviewing the Tiger King people.
Yeah, it was kind of like my girls were kind of disappointed because they started watching Ink Master with me, and they're like, "No, we don't get to see who won." So I guess I could do it without an audience. So timing wise,
hold on. Last year, didn't they do the finale? It was different than the archive. It was just pre-recorded. The first time they weren't live, right?
Well, no. They were live, but what they did was during the actual, say the final actual episode, like when somebody got voted off, Probst would be there on stage, would bring them out, they would chat, get the audience reaction,
yeah, but
and then it would go to commercial.
It was taped live. It was.
Last year was taped because of the whole issues that they had with that season with the inappropriate touching.
That's right.
That's why. Yeah. That's why last year's was taped. But normally, over the past few seasons, they've had the live audience there and kind of cut in. Once players got eliminated or stuff like that. But
right. Yeah. Okay.
So
Josh Carroll asked the question. So why the hell did Sean Payton draft a quarterback if he already had plans of getting Jameis Winston? Is it a waste of a draft pick? Scott or Josh, you'll find that answer in the next published episode, the Saints post-draft analysis, which will be published later today.
Oh.
On your podcast feed.
Featuring at Darth Saint. So, Survivor, back to Survivor. Timeline-wise, how far in advance is this filmed? Do y'all know, or taped or whatever?
So they usually film like
film
the
them back
fall
to
and
back.
spring in the summertime. So like they'll film the fall episode like spring, late spring, early summer, and then
Okay.
they'll film the winter episode after that immediately following.
So do they have a break if they do the finale live? There's a big break between the time they stop filming and the time they actually have the finale.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, at
Yeah.
this point, well, for the spring season, it's been almost a year since they've finished filming.
right.
Okay.
Like they
And
would have finished filming this spring season probably in like September or something or August.
Or
so
maybe
I
even
guess
earlier than that.
so the jury selects who wins. Is that correct?
Yes,
Usually.
Right.
yes,
Okay.
they do.
So
And they've already voted.
they've already voted. Okay,
Yeah.
that was my next question.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't know if they were able to watch the episodes and
No.
kind of see who does what to whom.
Nope.
And okay,
I
that was
don't
my
remember
question.
if they ever did a live vote in the early like season 1, 2, or 3 or something like that.
Maybe
I
that
don't
maybe that first season. I don't know. I didn't
No,
watch it back
I
then.
remember one thing I missed, and I wish they would go back to doing it, is that first season they did it where like they did all that on the island, and Jeff picks up the urn and he walks,
He
and
goes
then
through the
he
jungle
goes
and
through
he's
the
cutting
jungle,
down.
camera cut, and now he was walking, the camera, he passes the camera and the camera's at his back, right, and he's walking away, and a camera cut, to where he's walking toward now, so like whatever, and then he comes out into the live, so it's like he never left, like he left the island and he walked all the way to the live thing. I love that they do that. Now they just come right to it. I'm like, come
Right.
on, have a little fun with it.
Yeah, have fun with it.
So anyway, yeah, Scott, they know who they voted for, but nobody knows. Like supposedly, nobody knows who won. Like all that urn's been locked. It's been protected by Ernst and Young, and
Gotcha.
or whoever, and kind of like the Academy Awards. You don't know who won,
Gotcha. Okay.
and they're not allowed to talk about it. Obviously, they have a gag order.
Right.
But yeah, I think because if you let me watch the edits, the edited,
Oh, that would definitely
changes my vote.
influence.
Yeah.
Who you voted for.
I would like to see him do like an impromptu survey though. Okay, now everybody, would you still vote the same, knowing what you know now? Would that have changed it?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll do that, and you'll see people raise their hand, and it will or won't change.
They should do that like on the if they had like a DVD come out.
Yeah.
Have that as an extra.
I tell you what,
feature.
the one thing I don't like is the finale is too short for me. Or not the finale, the reunion show. I wish that was like back to an hour, because now it's only a 30-minute.
Well, because the actual episode now bleeds into the previous time allotted for the reunion,
Yeah.
so there isn't as much of a reunion anymore.
So give me more though. I want the reunion, or at
Give me a
least
4-hour reunion. I don't care.
Or give me 30 minutes of reunion on TV and give me the other 45 minutes on CBS.com. I'll watch. I'll go there. I'll watch. I'll watch it on YouTube or Facebook, just like everybody watches the Don't Patrol United podcast.
There you go. .com.
That YouTube.
All right, so Jeff, I have Denise and Parv still, so I'm good for now. Denise got immunity, so I'm happy with that. I still think she could be sneaky. She had that one big move. She can make another one. I don't know. We'll see.
That's the thing. Like if Tony gets knocked out, any one of these players,
game,
right, can do something and grab it at the end. So
that's why I think if they were smart, if he doesn't keep winning immunity, I'd get him out as soon as possible.
I think they all realize they have to do that. I'm
think
curious.
They did this. I think they did this past episode, but he won immunity.
I'd be curious to see. So next week he's got his idol to keep him afloat. Like, let's say if he doesn't at one point, like, is that when they're gonna bring on the aspect of the fire tokens and what you can purchase, with fire tokens?
And the idol, you got to know when to play it too. They could blindside him where he doesn't know. If they don't tell Ben, then maybe they can blindside him.
Right.
It was kind of funny. Speaking of that, how Ben instinctively tried to hide the idol when he found it, when he was standing right next to Tony.
I mean, I understand it's just an instant reaction. Like the second you get it, oh shit, nobody. I mean, I get it. It was funny, but I get it.
All right, so Jeff, who do you have?
I got elbow on the the edge of my elbow. I got I think y'all let me pick Tony in the game, right?
No, you still got Michelle.
You still got Michelle.
Oh,
you keep saying that every week. It's like, wait, y'all let me pick Tony, right?
You still got he's trying to be like Tony and convince us,
right? Hey, come on.
I thought you would let me pick Tony.
Right.
The
Oh, I thought
finest. I got the finest.
he's gonna be hiding in the tree outside.
Right. So yeah, so I've got Wendell on Extinction, and I mean Sophie was my second choice. She's on Extinction, and then
You
I
need
actually
to-
picked Tony.
Oh, I see what you did there. You wouldn't let me take him.
Well, because you didn't
You
take
had
him. You
already
had the
took
choice.
Michelle.
You already took
I took
Michelle.
Michelle as a
Michelle.
joke.
You
No.
took Michelle.
She's
You
gonna
took
win
Michelle.
Oh, you were being sarcastic.
I hope she does win, just to piss you off.
That would piss me off.
Oh, I would love it. She's my favorite one
No.
left. She's
Oh
my favorite one left.
now. Seriously?
Yes.
Ugh.
Why?
She's the only one that's like somewhat attractive. So look, I'm not lying. Okay, so there was an episode, a couple episodes. I think it was when the families came, and they were on Extinction Island, and everybody started waving bye. And Amber lifts up her hand to wave bye, and all I see is this big thing of armpit hair, and I'm like, that's pretty nasty. But I guess it's gonna happen when you're on the island, right?
Right.
Because you can't shave. But then last night, when they were doing the challenge with all their arms up, all the girls' pits were shaved. There was no armpit hair at all whatsoever.
Very interesting.
Maybe they pluck them.
No, I think they gave them a razor to shave it before the
This particular challenge, because they were like, we need to shave.
We don't want to
It's
gross
probably
people
like
out.
it's probably like, which arm are you raising? You can shave that one armpit, so you can't shave the
I
other.
mean, that's interesting, because right. I mean, if they gave him a razor, then what other comforts are they letting them have? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't
Toothbrush.
I don't
They got-
believe
they-
that
I think
crowd
they
of
get-
people is strong. I think there are beds on the other side of that rock.
I don't believe they're. I definitely think they get a toothbrush.
I don't know. 'cause
They are
some of
not
them, like
struggling.
Extinction Island, they
They're
look pretty
struggling.
rough. The what's that girl? I can't think of her name.
Danny.
Yes,
looks super
dude,
skinny,
she
yeah.
looked
Okay,
rough.
she looks rough, yes. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Okay, I'm not saying they're comfortable, but I don't think there's that what you see is all they have.
No, I mean, as soon as that camera went off Boston Rob's elbow, I'm sure they were attended to it. Putting bandages
They
on
really
it, cleaning
didn't
it up.
need to. He could have just gone in the ocean and rubbed the blood off. I mean,
Yeah.
If only Jeff could apply for the next Survivor and find out for himself.
Yeah, no.
Will they let me continue to take my blood pressure pills?
I'll sit on the couch. Right. I'll sit on the couch and enjoy
Right.
watching.
I will continue to judge from the couch. That's what I do.
Right.
A good way to lose some weight after all this quarantine.
I know.
Jeff, Jeff couldn't drink beer, or alcohol, so he'd have an issue.
Can't be on Survivor.
Nope.
All right. Final thoughts. Make them quick.
I'm sad that it's almost over, but excited that we still have 5 hours of programming. I'm really anxious to see if Tony can hold on and not get booted.
So there's for sure only 2 episodes left. Is that correct?
That's it.
Interesting.
So you got a 2-hour, and then you got your 2-hour finale plus 30-minute.
He said 3.
Well, 3 hours of broadcast, which I guess will be. I don't know if that's actual game, and then they do a
Usually,
quote-unquote live show.
so maybe because it's winners, maybe they will do a 2-hour game and 1-hour reunion.
I don't know. I don't know the specifics.
The other thing I look forward to in the reunion is what the next season's going to be like. I love the preview.
The problem is there isn't going to be a next season because of the quarantine. They had to delay the filming.
They can still film it.
They should, but
Now, hey, look, if
They can only have
gotta-
10 people.
If they have to go to
Yeah.
another remote location to film it, they could. I mean, you worried about the weather? Then don't go to the
No,
South China Sea. and
Survivor
film somewhere
said
else.
they're not. They're delaying production.
Okay.
They could just
But-
test them
but
all in and
once
put them on an
they-
island.
I mean, but all right, you can delay production, but you can still do the fall season. One, you can start late, or two, start filming it later, but edit it as you're making it.
That's assuming you can film it.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
Frank, what's wrong? Okay, these people are isolated on a remote island.
I agree,
So
but you've
test-
also.
Test
But
them.
you've also got when you get voted out, you go to Ponderosa, assuming they're not doing Extinction
Okay,
Island
test
anymore.
everybody.
You have all the crew members there.
Test
You got to
everybody.
fly them all there.
Test them.
Test them. CBS got
okay,
money.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay.
Just
We'll
saying.
test them.
They should just do it all by Zoom.
500 people out there, test them all. A Doom Survivor.
Right.
You want to play Dome Patrol United Survivor?
Yeah.
There we go. We got to
Hang
take
on,
out
let
the
me-
outwit part.
Let me whisper. All right. That's it. That's your final thoughts. All right. We're gonna That's all the show we have for you right now. We're going to thank our loyal listeners for downloading each week and telling all of your friends about the Dome Patrol podcast, Dome Patrol United Survivor podcast. It just rolls off the tongue like that. What do you got? Like us on Twitter, Dome Patrol US and Dome Patrol UK. Follow us on Facebook to watch live broadcasts. Follow us on YouTube to watch live broadcasts or to listen as an alternative to your podcast app, which is on every podcast app that you can think of. And then, if you're old-fashioned like Jason, you can go to Dome Patrol Podcast.
.com.
Say bye-bye, donkeys.
Bye bye, elbow donkeys.
The tribe has spoken.